just a few words about me and my company, because actually I'm not in the revenue management business. I'm in the digital marketing business. So both are marketing aspects which are key for your business to grow and develop. You will see that I'm more on the acquisition of customers for you, whereas Emmanuel and others help you better improve your margin and your revenue. So the name of the company is Skills because it comes from the gathering of many different expertise. And this is what makes a really different company from the others, is that we are very focused on return on investment. We are experts in acquiring customers. We are not doing any campaigns like to promote your brand just because it looks smart, fun, and enjoyable. We want you to get and earn money. That's our business. That's how we earn our living, okay? And we've been practicing this business for now more than 7 years. And we somehow become expert in the car rental business, helping different brands like Hertz, Budget, Europe Car, and Rent-A-Car all around the world. So we started in the Caribbean islands for French group GBH. And then we spread all out, sharing our knowledge and expertise. So this is part of this knowledge and expertise that I want to share with you today. Today's objective is to give you insights so that you can better succeed in acquiring new customers thanks to your website, and especially with AdWords. AdWords is, we will see PPC, okay? And I will go into a bit more details about this. But I think it's key for you just not to rely on where we'll see the brokers, but to have different opportunities for your business to grow. So basically, if we want to summarize your revenue sources, you have right now brokers in OTA, and you have your website. Of course, if you are a franchisee and you rely on, I don't know, their Europe Car platform and all, they drive you business as well. But it's somehow like the brokers because they take fees on every reservation you make. The big and the huge interest in your website is actually you get the customers directly, so you can improve your margin and you get the customers' intelligence, which will help you develop your customers, your business a lot more. To do a very effective website, it requires different elements, okay, like building a whole ecosystem. This ecosystem relies on your ERP and tools. So your website must be plugged on your fleet management system, on your revenue management system, on other tools to drive and get and analyze every data. This is really key. And this is linked to your broker. So actually this is something that I think most of you have already. You need to think of the user experience as well. That means your website must be compatible with every device. You never know when you're going to reach a customer. It can be on their mobile phone because they just landed at the airport and they're thinking, oh my God, I should book my reservation now. So your website must be mobile friendly, or it can be on the desktop because they are planning their vacation a long time before and they want you to have a huge interface and a different user experience. So think of it, it's really important, we will see, for the way you can approach and communicate with your customers. Then you need to make your website plug to other tools and make it visible. So that means you need to be more or less visible on social networks to bring conversation with your customers. Be ready to be on search engines and develop partnerships. Partnerships is something you usually do to drive business to your website, but sometimes you don't think that you could add a link on your website, on your partner's website, to drive more traffic. So, for instance, with theme parks around you, with the airport, local airports, on different hotels, these are all the partners you can rely on and try to get some new partnerships and exchange visibility. This is key to drive some new traffic to your website. So you see that to make your website effective, there are plenty of different channels to work on. And I cannot tell you every tips in just one session, so I decided to focus on just one tool, which is search engine and paid traffic today. This presentation is, as I said, something to share. So whenever you have a question, something which is not clear, or you want to intervene because there is something that lacks in my talk, or you want to share some experience, feel free to raise your hand and tell me, okay? So basically, to summarize, you have two different challenges. With brokers and OTA, you need to have the right price, because this gives you good positioning, good visibility, and then customers. Website is a bit more tricky because you need good price and raise your visibility yourself. So how do customers find you? Actually, this is the question I'm asking you now. Are there anyone here in this room already using some marketing action, digital marketing actions regularly, or is this something pretty new? Let's just raise hands for people who think they are pretty mature on the digital marketing aspects. You are over there?
Yeah, our team, not ourselves, but our marketing and e-commerce team.
Do this a lot already. Yeah. Okay, that's very interesting because we can see if in the approach we tend to do the things the same way, or maybe there are some different strategies, and that's always interesting to share. So from what I see here, it's something which is kind of a bit new for you. This is what I wanted to know, if you are very mature on this, or rather beginners. And it's perfect. I can see that you will need some little of educational, and I have some key aspect that I want to share with you to help you get better on this topic. So customers find you. The best way they find you is actually using search engines. There is 135 billion searches each month. This is huge, and it tends to go bigger and bigger because people are more and more connected. Okay, so actually the best way for you to reach your audience is being visible on search engine result pages. To be visible on search engine result pages, you have two locations, basically. One is the pink one over here, which is called SEA, for search engine advertising, okay? And the other one is SEO. So I've taken this example, which is car rental Martinique Airport. And you can see there are 4 different types of advertising. Then this little local map, which is part of SEO, and then you have natural, what we call natural or organic links. Today, we're going to really focus on this aspect. But the question I ask you is, should you work only on SEO, only on SEA, or on both?
Both.
Both, yes. Even if you're really strong on SEO, let's consider you have a very strong SEO. Do you think that you should do SEA as well or not?
I would say yes.
You would say yes? Who would say yes? Okay, that's okay, like 40% of the audience today. Interesting. So, the other people, do you think it's a no, or because you don't have any opinion on this aspect? Is it a no for you? No. Okay. So, some people don't know yet, actually.
Depending on the price. What you pay.
Well, on SEO or SEA?
On SEA.
On SEA. It depends on the keywords, we will see. But actually, yes. I've seen some people saying, I don't need SEA at all because I'm very strong on SEO.
I would say that also.
You would say that also, yeah. And you would be wrong. Let's see why. Actually, both are very complementary, and this is really key to understand. Because if you have strong SEO, you can still be attacked by advertisers. by your competitors. And the good news is actually doing SEA will bring you extra clicks. Okay? So that means usually when you have first position on SEO and you do AdWords, you get a 50% extra clicks. So these are different type of customers. These are customers you would have never reached if you hadn't done any marketing or PPC campaigns. Okay? So this is really key to understand that SEA, in my perspective, is something you cannot ignore. The question is how to make it profitable. I said that actually you need to do SEA as well because there is no words, no keyword which is safe place, which is safe. If I type Europe car in Paris, before Natural Link, I have two competitors, Auto Escape and Auto Europe. So that means brokers, they are ready to get your customers, although the customers are asking for your brand. This is bad, actually. They are very present. They are present everywhere. These should be Europe car customers, but they're going to click on Auto Escape or Auto Europe. And Europe car isn't doing anything. Actually, as you can see, there is no ad for Europe car. There would be an ad just over here. They would be top one. They would be the first. They would get extra clicks. And so it's very important for you not to get your customers go to somewhere else. So just a few words to let you know how this works, because you cannot understand how to make things profitable if you don't understand how this works, okay? Basically, it's pretty easy. You select keywords. You're going to bid on keywords. So actually, you need to understand what the users are going to look for, which is basically pretty easy in your business because it's mostly car rental agency, car rental, and a location, or your brand name. So basically defining the keywords is not the huge part, the difficult part. The difficult part is how do you make things work? And the system works with a bidding system. So that means all the competitors are going to target the same keywords, and they're going to say, okay, I'm ready to pay €1 for this click. I'm ready to pay €1.50 or 0.5. The more you're ready to pay, the more you should have a good position and you should appear on the search engine result page, which is SERP, okay, for short. You will see in the presentation SERP, that's search engine result page. So that's basically how it works. So it's very smart from Google. Actually, the more you pay, the more visible you will be. But Google is very interested in delivering good content for the end user. So it's not just a matter of money, it's a matter of quality as well. And this is where, you know, the user experience you're going to give will impact the price you're going to pay. So there is really a matter of quality when you build your campaigns and a matter of relevancy. If I look for purchase beds, and I have the words in my ads, and my landing page is showing beds, and you have contents with the word beds, you have high-level relevancy, and you will have lower CPC, cost per click. So basically, if you buy the keywords car in your location, let's say car Paris or rental Paris, this makes no sense because it's not your business. I've seen some competitors buying like very wide keywords trying to reach tourists. It makes no sense. You pay high costs for low return on investment. So the good way is to really think it like the customer journey. What is he going to type on the search engine, and what experience I'm going to deliver to him on the website. Then we have some, like I studied to use some words you need to understand, like CPC, which is cost per click, how much money you're going to spend for each click for each visitor. Impressions in the number of times your ad has been displayed. And CTR is the first KPI you need to understand, which is basically the number of clicks divided by the number of impressions. The bigger, the higher, the more relevant you are, okay? And at last, CPA, cost per acquisition. So don't try to learn this by heart right now. Just to give you some insight, we'll get back to this. But it's really important that you need to, there are some KPIs you need to understand to drive it and make things efficient. So let's go fast on this. AdWords is important and efficient because it enables you to target your customers the moment they're looking for your services. They are ready to purchase, so let's get them, okay? And you may get them regarding their location. So basically you can target your customers very precisely, whether they are in Italy, in France, in Germany. You can deliver very specific messages. They are in the United States, fine. You can push specific offers with automatic gearbox, for instance, things that rarely car rental businesses push forward. If you don't offer automatic gearbox to American drivers, you won't sell. So this makes you able to adapt your communication and act precisely. And the good news is, thanks to these systems, you are on first page of Google within hours. Once we've said all this and we understand that AdWords is really key for your business to grow, question is how we make it effective now. We consider it's a 5-step process. It's a matter of business strategy, of objectives, of budget, keywords. We've talked about it a little, but we'll go deeper into this, and the way you sustain it. And sustain is really linked to yield and revenue management. So business strategy. Question is, how much, what share of your fleet you want to share to your direct website? This is key because now maybe you're relying 100% on brokers, but tomorrow you will say that to your brokers, okay, no, you're not going to have 100 vehicles or 1,000, but just 900, and I'm keeping 100 because I want to sell them directly on my website. Because I can make better turnover and better margin thanks to this. So it's up to you to forecast, okay, the part of your sales you're going to make thanks to your website. It's not easy at first, and it can be very dangerous. So the best way is to go little by little. Let's start with like 2% of your overall fleet or 2% of your visitor each month, and see, and go bigger and bigger, and then you can either make your fleets grow, and then there is still the same amount of vehicles with your brokers, or you take vehicles from your brokers and you sell them directly on your website, and you make better margin and better profits, okay? Second aspect is, which customer do I want to target? Professional, end users, where do they live? This is key to really, target, as I said, the right markets and deliver the right message with the right offer. And what are the expectations in terms of car rental services? I gave you the example of the United States market. This is very typical. So some countries and habits are not really the same. You need to understand what they are looking for to better deliver. And then this makes you able to find the right offer. When I talk about offer, that makes you, okay, what is the page, what is the message I'm going to deliver on the website? No promotion. Remember, we do yield management, so no promotion, but actually it's more like key benefits or emotional benefits for the end user. Is it clear so far? Yes? Okay. If I'm going too fast, you tell me, and I slow down, or I can roll back. Okay? Thank you. Okay, let's move on. So then you need to set up objectives. Objectives is actually you need to forecast your profitability. You forecast the share of your fleet, but then you need to understand that actually if you use AdWords, it will cost you money. If you use brokers or if you sell through your franchise platform, it costs you money. If you sell directly, it must be more interesting, more profitable than the other channels. So you need to find and calculate this in order to define how much you're ready to pay to get clients directly on your website. So I have this example. I want 5% extra profitability compared to other sources. So if brokers ask for 15% fees, that means you should have an ad spend investment divided by revenue of 10% or less. If I reach this objective, then I'm doing a good job. If I'm doing more than this, that's not really very interesting. And if I reach 15, then stop it. That's not profitable and you should use brokers. Okay? So you need specific digital KPIs all the time. And this KPI is not for just the old Google thing. This is something that we will see we will do by campaign, because the more budgets you invest, the more keywords you target, the more complex it will be to calculate return on investment. And sometimes you should say, okay, stop. I don't spend any more money on Google. I will go with my brokers, or on the contrary. Talking about budgets, you have two different strategies, actually. You have the old way, which is fixed budget, and you have the new approach, which what I call is no limit. No limit is great. Actually, you don't consider that at the end of the year you should spend that amount of money. You consider that as long as you are profitable, you give money on Google. You need to understand that marketing has changed, and marketing is a profit source. It's not a cost. It's not a cost anymore. It's just a way to make new businesses, because you can really calculate your return on investment. So as long as I'm profitable, I keep investing. Just beware of two things. As I said, the more you're going to spend some money, sometimes you're going to invest on words or campaigns that are not that profitable. You need to be able to identify this, which is not that complicated. The other thing is actually stop sell. If you are the victim of your own success, you may end up with no vehicles. Then you're going to spend some money on Google's, and the end user won't get any vehicles. So that's pure loss. So just be very ready and be very aware. And this is where you need to align your revenue management with your digital marketing. Second way to do is what I call fixed budgets. So this is the old marketing school, saying, okay, this year I'm going to spend 50,000 euros on marketing and doing some campaign with this. Okay, fine. Some groups still have this kind of thinking. You won't change this. So how can we deal with that? You need to adapt according to seasonality and your organic visibility. If you are in low season, that means you have low demand, and weak SEO, that's when you're going to invest the most. On the contrary, if you're on high season, high demand, and have strong visibility, strong SEO, you will spend little money on AdWords. Okay. Is this something that sounds natural for you, that actually you have low demand and you spend a lot of money? Yes? Because sometimes I hear people saying, okay, no, when you have high demand, you have a lot of people asking for your vehicles, you need to spend a lot of money. No? Okay, that's good. But just to make things clear, if you have a lot of demand, it's easier to sell all your vehicles. So even with low visibility, it will go faster and you will have to invest less money. It's when you have low demand that you need to get the biggest market share possible to have your fleet on the route. Okay? So that's the best way to do it is actually you see your, you know your seasonality, and you make your budget ready in advance, and you make a whole year budget, and you know that this month you're going to spend like 2,000 euros, next month just 500, because it depends on the demand. 4 steps, as I said, is keyword and campaign strategy. Basically, you have 4 different types of keywords to consider. Brand and competitor, that's 2. And it's actually the name of the brand plus localization, such as Europe Car Berlin Airport. Then you have what we call generic. There is no brand name in that keyword, plus localization keywords. Keywords plus localization, such as Car Rental Paris. We've seen this example a bit earlier. And at last, we have generic keywords like car rental. So these type of keywords, from experience, don't have the same return on investment and the same reach. Basically, in terms of profitability, the most profitable are the brand keywords. And the last one, competitor keywords. Can someone tell me why?
Relevance.
Exactly, relevancy. You cannot use on your website the name of your competitor, right? You are a Robka, you won't say that actually you're better than Hertz. That would hurt. Sorry for the play on words. Okay, so yes, with all those keywords, you can work on the content of your website and have high relevancy. The thing is, on brand keywords, you will have low competition, and on generic keywords, you will have a bigger competition. That the bid will be higher. So basically, if tomorrow you're not doing any AdWords, the right thing to do right now is to make campaigns with your brand name. That's key, all the time, okay? Low season, high season, whenever, these keywords are pretty cheap and they have very high profitability. People are looking for you, and if you're not ready at that time, I mean, come on, there is a big problem in your business. So this is really a must-have. And the more budget you have, the more keywords you can increase, and go with top keywords, being more specific and with the local keywords, or try the keywords you mentioned, Mister, like addressing some very specific demands. And then you can start working, facing the competition, the more confident you become, or the more budget you have. At last, in order to sustain all the digital strategy, AdWords strategy you set up, as I said, you need to test and find out which are the keywords that work, make them in specific campaigns, and you will make things a bit more specific, and play them in specific campaigns. And then you can deactivate or reactivate the campaigns you need regarding seasonality. And you will get extra, forgot the word, reactiveness, like you will be more reactive, okay? And reactivity is really is key in your businesses. That leads to align, as I said, yield marketing, yield revenue management with your digital communication. And if you work with an agency, or if something you do internally, make them aware of everything which is yield related. Or maybe you should even teach them and send them, all the graph, and all, so that they understand that at this very specific moment they should invest more, and then decrease the revenue, so that at the end of the month you have maximized the traffic acquisition, and thus the sales. Because actually the last thing to do is you need to adapt your messages. If you have the lowest price on the market at the moment, say it. People in the car rental business are looking for price. They want a service, but it's very hard to differentiate yourself with a service in your businesses. So they're looking for a price, and just €1 sometimes make the difference between a conversion or not. So having this kind of messaging saying, okay, right now you can rent your car from €10 a day. Okay, go for it. Let's say it. And if it's just for 1 day or two, say it, and then you switch your ads the day after once your prices have increased again. So work closely and align digital marketing with revenue management. This is key to have sustainable AdWords campaigns.